Welcome. It's good to have the chance to talk to you again. This morning, Mrs. Underwood and I will be talking to you about a very important concern that we've had for the past few weeks, and that is the matter of making sure that we have sanitized and prepared our buildings and facilities adequately and properly. We want everyone coming to school and to church. We want everyone coming to feel secure and to feel safe, and we're taking every step to make sure that we're following best practices in seeing that this happens. There are changes in the church, of course, with this pandemic, and among the changes that we are looking into, and we're very close to making these decisions, are installing UV lighting in the church. There's a system available of UV lights which actually go into the air ducts, and they purify the air so that we can be sure that as the air is circulated, the air we're breathing is cleaner and viruses are eliminated. We're taking every step to disinfect the church adequately. The church will be cleaned before and after each Mass. And before the church opens up again, we will have a deep cleaning of the church to make sure the facility is starting off in a good place. We will have thermometers available when people start coming back to church. Thermometers will be available at the doors of the church. We want everyone to prepare to come. There'll be a list in the bulletin and perhaps an e-blast about knowing how to judge whether it's safe to come back to church. If you have a sore throat or a runny nose, or you're not feeling well, you're symptomatic, maybe with a fever, those are signs that coming to church is perhaps not a good thing, and self-regulating will be an important way to keep each other safe. We will, of course, follow social distancing rules. When we open the church, you'll notice that every other pew is gone. The reason for that is all the pews have been taken out so that we can now paint the church. And at the end of the month of June, when the pews are put back, we're only putting back every other pew so that social distance possibilities will be in place. We'll also expect that people will wear masks and use hand sanitizers, which will be available at the doors and throughout the church. We will not be putting kneelers back on the pews because kneelers will increase the territory that needs to be cleaned after each Mass, but they also mean a closeness and a violation of social distance. So for now, kneelers will not be part of the church either. There's always some risk in every environment. No matter how safe an environment is, there's always a possibility that it's not perfect, and everyone has to judge whether or not it's appropriate for them to come back, especially into a social gathering or a larger gathering. As we look ahead, the dates we are looking at to reopen the church for weekend Masses is the weekend of July 25th and 26th. At the end of July, we feel we will be ready to open the church, and that weekend we will have a 5:30 Saturday night Mass, and our COVID schedule for the time being will be Sunday morning at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. So the weekend schedule will be 5:30, 8, and 10 a.m. On July 27th, Monday morning, we will start daily Mass, and we'll have more information on that as we go on. As we approach the time of opening the church, one thing that will happen is we are making masks available for children, and through the school we will have masks on sale, and we are asking families to purchase a packet of 3 masks, and to purchase a second packet that we will use to bring to the soup kitchen, the Tucson Soup Kitchen in Newark, where the sisters are working. So for every pack of masks that you buy, we ask that you buy a second one that we can donate to the sisters in Newark. And that will help pay for some of the expenses of the sanitizing and disinfecting that we have to do moving forward. The work on the church has been significant in the past few weeks. You probably noticed already there's a new parking lot outside. Parking lot has been redone and striped. The church floor has been redone. The pews have been installed. The church has been painted. So a lot has happened, and we certainly look forward to being with everyone again when it's appropriate to come back. All of the things we're doing are, of course, subject to the guidelines that the governor will make available to us, and we follow carefully what the Archdiocese is saying as well. But for now, these are our plans, and these are the steps we're taking to move forward. And I'm glad that Mrs. Underwood is with us today, and I'd like Mrs. Underwood to come and tell us some of the things that have been in place and will be in place in terms of St. Rose of Lima Academy.
Hello. It's been quite some time since I've seen most of you, and honestly, I miss all of you. Dropping off the books is probably the only time we get to communicate in person with each other, and I thank you for bringing the books and the computers, everything, even the power cords back with you. Please continue to do so. I have been working very closely with the Church Council in terms of how best practices for opening not only the church, but our school as well. We have interviewed extensively, looking at companies that would not only deep clean our schools, because of course that would be the first step. Johnny and I and several companies have been doing just that to ensure we have the cleanest base that we can begin with. The next step, of course, would be using some CDC recommended filtration systems, and that's what we're looking at right now. Most of them being electrostatic spraying, misting, and killing bacteria and viruses as they go. The air purification systems are usually seated in an ultraviolet with a fogging mist. We're going through and through, and that should be settled hopefully by this week in step 2. Step 3, we're looking at a combination of self-monitoring. We're asking if your child's not feeling well, please keep them home. Part of step 3 would also be a temperature. The school has purchased 8 handheld thermometers that we will be using according to CDC recommendations at this time. As we all know, this could change tomorrow. So I will keep you posted on that. One thing I would really like our school to get behind is part of the mask program. We have a very generous parish family that not only manufactured, but donated 100% to the church. And that is these incredible masks. I wear them all the time. They come in packs of 3, and they have children's sizes and adult sizes. So I will show you exactly what they look like. They're so easy and comfortable. And you'll see me wearing a full display of beautiful masks. To purchase a pack of 3, the charge is $20 for adult and children's sizes. In addition, while you're in the giving spirit, we ask that you also purchase a pack of 3 for our donation to our sister parishes and our sisters. Thank you for your generosity, and please email me, call the school's office, and we'll make sure we get these right out to you. Thank you.
Well, thanks again, everyone, and I want to thank Mrs. Underwood for being here with us today, telling us about the school, reminding us of what the school is doing. Mrs. Underwood mentioned the masks. I do want to mention that Sal and Molly Kona have donated these masks, and we're very grateful to them for allowing us to provide masks for you, and then, because of your generosity, to provide masks for our sister parishes and the soup kitchen down in Newark. We also want to acknowledge that among the many things that are being done and the work that's been accomplished recently, Mr. Lamorghese, a parishioner, has been very helpful to us in getting our parking lot done. So we want to give Mr. Lamorghese a special thanks for all the help and time and effort he's put in on our behalf for that. We do want to say that beginning July 25th and 26th, when we get into our weekend mass schedule, then the following week with weekday schedule, we do acknowledge that there are funeral masses and memorials that need to be celebrated. So we will begin the weekend of July 25th To schedule funeral masses, please contact the rectory. We will take care of that for you, but we want to help in any way we can. So families that have been postponing funerals, please contact us if we can be of service to you. I do want to acknowledge that throughout the past few weeks, our Building and Grounds Committee has been very helpful. Matt Gentile and his whole committee have been very good and very generous with their time and expertise. Our task force, we have a task force that's getting ready for the opening of the church. It's the task force that has gathered, put in time, gathered expertise, looked at best practices, companies, interviews, whatever it takes to do it. Our task force has been very significant in their help and assistance as well. During this time of pandemic, we have relied on HTTV to schedule our masses. Our masses will continue to be scheduled on HTTV. We're so grateful to that station for having us on 7 and 9 on Sunday mornings and 7:30 a.m. on weekdays. So thanks again to HTTV. We're very grateful. And thanks to our parishioners for your continued support. We have done many things in the past few months to maintain our connections with you and to try to keep our connections with one another alive. Our spiritual events on television and on video and online, the masses on TV. We've met with our First Communion children. We've communicated with our confirmation kids. There have been many, many things happening. We're beginning now to schedule weddings and baptisms, so please contact us if we can be of help. And if you have expertise or you have advice or suggestions in terms of our opening that you think could be helpful for us, please don't hesitate to contact us. And we rely on the good advice of so many qualified people, so don't hesitate to please be in touch with us. Thanks again. All of us look forward to seeing you soon. Most of all, we want to be together again. And I echo Mrs. Underwood's sentiments. That's what we miss. We miss having you here, and we look forward very much to having you here again. God bless you.